Aloha. Welcome to the white coat ceremony for Daniel K. Inouye College of Pharmacy class of 2019 in recognition of our pharmacy residents. My name is Ed Fisher, and it is my pleasure to serve as Professor and Associate Dean for Academic Affairs and the Director of our Master's in Clinical Psychopharmacology program. It is my great pleasure also to serve as the Master of Ceremonies for the white coat ceremony this afternoon. And now for the Mele Ho'okipa, Kahakaula O.K. Kulani College of Hawaiian Language will perform U'a'ao, Hawaii is Enlightened. Later this afternoon, Dr. Sherry Tukumoro will talk more about pharmacy residents. So let me begin by saying a few words on the significance of the white coat ceremony that we're performing this afternoon. The white coat represents the transition of pharmacy students from the preclinical into the clinical component of the curriculum. When I attended pharmacy school back in the 1890s, all the clinical experience was accomplished during the third and final year of school. But now, not only have we expanded pharmacy education from 3 to 4 years, thereby changing it from a bachelor's degree into a doctoral degree, students now experience the clinical aspects of their education much earlier in the curriculum. So it is appropriate to have the white coat ceremony during their first academic semester. In my opinion, this early exposure helps students see the clinical relevance of the didactic courses into which they are currently enrolled. Additionally, it provides them with a greater understanding of the various practice settings that exist in pharmacy and allows them more time to decide into which area of pharmacy they would like most to practice. As you may have noted, the students entered this afternoon with their white coats draped on their arms. There is a reason they were not wearing them, because another aspect of the white coat ceremony is bringing into the profession the next generation of pharmacists. Therefore, a pharmacist will place the white coat onto each student, hence symbolizing one generation of pharmacists transitioning the next into clinical practice, essentially welcoming them into the profession. Now, for a few words of welcome, I'll introduce our interim dean. She received the Doctor of Pharmacy degree from the University of California at San Francisco and completed a clinical pharmacy residency at Thomas Jefferson University Hospital and an oncology pharmacy specialty residency at the Hospital of the University of Pennsylvania. She practiced as the first clinical pharmacist at the Queens Medical Center in Honolulu and is board certified in oncology pharmacy practice. She went on to work as Vice President for Oncology Clinical Program Development for AMMed International in Hong Kong, China. Prior to her joining the college, she was a pharmacy and hospital management consultant for various hospitals, including Stanford hospitals and clinics, with expertise in Joint Commission's medication management chapter, pharmacy and clinic workflow redesign and organizational development. In 2007, she returned home to Hawaii as a founding executive member and faculty in the role of Clinical Education Coordinator and Director of Experientials. In 2009, she became the chair for pharmacy practice. Her work with key partners outside of the college includes serving on the boards of Hawaii State Board of Pharmacy, Hawaii Pharmacists Association, the International Interdisciplinary Advisory Board, and the editorial board for the Journal of Pharmaceutical Care and Health Systems. She is a contributing editor for the DKICP's column Scripts with the Hawaii Journal of Medicine and Public Health. She is also the recipient of the prestigious Bowl of Hygeia, the Lifetime Service Achievement Award. I present to you Interim Dean, Dr. Carolyn Ma.
Thank you, Dr. Fisher. Aloha kako to family, friends, faculty, distinguished community leaders, and most of all, the class of 2019. Amazingly, 8 years ago, some of us stood in this auditorium for our first white coat ceremony, which now has become a tradition that welcomes another class of student pharmacists into my profession, a profession that I am proud to say is considered consistently by the public as one of the most noble and respected. New beginnings can be daunting. The 84 of you just 2 months ago sat in orientation, I'm sure feeling very excited, but also possibly with a sense of terror of what you may have gotten yourself into. Trust me, I know. For only a week later, I was confirmed as your interim dean. So I can relate to your anxieties, and in a way, you and I began this new journey together. I suppose in this role as interim dean, I am supposed to give you some words of advice. Let me first say that advice may not necessarily fall into the class of wisdom. I'll let you make that call when you reach the end of the 4 years and you reflect upon these words. Dr. Martin Luther King once said in regards to making huge goals, you can't look at it from the standpoint of the entire staircase. You have to take it one step at a time. So my first piece of advice would be to take the next 4 years in a similar fashion to the many of us have in the past 8 years, and that is one step at a time. Our executive leadership, our legislatures, and community leaders who support us to no end, our practice faculty who work and care for their patients, our research faculty who toil away long hours in their research labs, and our staff who make everything run on a daily basis are testaments to this stepwise approach. Each group works to contribute their share to make this college rank 74th in the nation among 135 schools of pharmacy, and ranked 4th among the 40+ schools that have been built since 2000. We are soon to break ground on our permanent building, and next spring, we hope to welcome back our inaugural class of graduates for a 5th-year reunion. I do know that the next time we see you all gathered together with your family and friends in the audience, it will be at commencement, when you will don, instead of a white coat, your doctoral hood. Now, you may ask, what is the best way to take this step-by-step journey? And one that can be riddled with challenges and obstacles, often with this frequently used word that starts with an S, stress. And in trying to find an answer, perhaps I was procrastinating on how to best answer this question. I went to one of my most engaging resources, the internet, most specifically TED Talks. And among the list of choices I could choose from was, for instance, how to control somebody else's arm with your brain, how to take care of a pet jellyfish. But one topic did catch my eye, and it was a talk called How to Make Stress Your Friend. And Dr. Kelly McGonigal, who is a health psychologist at Stanford University, presents the idea of how we view our stress matters. The stress response is when one's heart beats faster and blood vessels constrict. And these responses, if chronic, are related to cardiovascular disease. Dr. McGonigal speaks of a Harvard study where the participants were asked to view their stress responses as being helpful. In other words, that a pounding heart actually means your heart muscle is working well. Your quickened breath actually brings more oxygen to your brain, kind of like the feeling that I have right now. But in this study, those that viewed their stress as being helpful, their blood vessels actually stayed relaxed. And their heart, although still pounding, but with relaxed blood vessels, actually represents a much healthier cardiovascular picture and is comparable to an individual who is experiencing joy and courage. So my suggestion is, when you enter into the exactly 224 exams, quizzes, case studies, and presentations you'll have in the next 4 years, think of your stress as being healthy and good for you, and that you and your body is ready to overcome this challenge. The last piece of advice I can offer is I'll give you a short story. And as Dr. Fisher mentioned, I went to pharmacy school in San Francisco, a city by the bay, well known for its cold and foggy days. And in my first semester of school, very much like you, on a particular afternoon in September, in compounding class, we were given the assignment to make 2 types of suppositories, glycerin and cocoa butter. Now, being pretty original, my lab partner and I said, why don't we each make double the amount of one suppository, and then we'll switch, and then we'll get out of lab faster. Okay. So, unbeknownst, being a first semester pharmacy student, I decided to choose cocoa butter suppositories. Okay. Well, if you know anything about San Francisco, in the month of September is about the only month that it's called Indian summer. And in this particular year, it was 90+ degrees. And in a city that really lacks a lot of air conditioning, it was pretty sweltering in that compounding lab. So instead of my 5 suppositories looking like they should, in other words, 5 fully formed, bullet-shaped suppositories lined up in a row that my lab TA had to sign off on, they instead, in 90+ degree weather, looked like a bar of soap with finger grooves in them. So my last piece of advice to you is, similar to San Francisco, Hilo has its share of rainy days, ones that you're going to be spent inside, and when that initial sunny day comes out and you happen to be in compounding lab, the point that you have to remember is, make sure your lab partner chooses the cocoa butter suppositories. In closing, students, today you firmly enter into my profession. I believe we have chosen you well, but even more so, you have chosen well of this profession that will give you a feeling every day that you have helped a fellow human being live a happier and healthy life. Thank you. And now it's my privilege to introduce to you someone who lives and breathes in his career and stands on the corner of happy and healthy. Our school is here due to the exceptional support provided to us by our community partners. And these are partners such as Walgreens, who once again this year has graciously agreed to sponsor this event. Mr. Brent Wolford is manager of Walgreens Waipahu store. He's received his degree, pharmacy degree from Purdue, and has been with Walgreens for 17 years. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Wolford to the stage.
Thank you. Good afternoon and aloha. On behalf of myself and Walgreens, we'd like to congratulate all of you on your current acceptance into pharmacy school. The profession of pharmacy over the past couple of years, decades, centuries it seems, has emerged into a multifaceted approach. Now you can graduate from pharmacy school and go to whatever disciplinary you want, whether it be leadership, management, research, oncology. There's quite the plethora of choices to choose from. Keep in mind, though, whichever path you choose for your pharmacy profession, that the oath you receive tonight is about serving others. So as long as that's kept in mind, you will fulfill your oath for the profession of pharmacy. If I heard correctly, she mentioned you guys have some like 240 exams over the next 4 years. So at the moment, oh boy, it's well overwhelming, right? There's more than 240 people in here. So if you have any idea kind of how I feel right now, I understand how you guys feel with the 240. Okay, so if I can leave you with you guys a little bit of advice, okay? It's all about goal setting. Making the right choices, of course. But goal setting, 240 sounds like a lot. 4 years sounds like a lot. But you got to break it down into week by week, day by day. What test do I have tomorrow? What test do I have this week? It's about planning and execution. That little bit of advice should help you get through pharmacy school. But more importantly, once you get into the profession of pharmacy after graduation, that's where it'll really, truly help. So you'll be tried and tested over the next couple of years. One thing that holds in common with all these different facets of pharmacy, though, is leadership. And if anybody knows what the 2 pillars for leadership is, the first one is going to be communication. So being able to speak to others, not only amongst your peers, speaking pharmacy lingo talk, big words, big language, but being able to talk to the regular public, especially if you're in community pharmacy. Sometimes, yes, as customers, I'll talk over their heads a little bit because they're asking kind of the wrong questions. But you got to be able to bring it down to their level so that they understand. Because more importantly, it's about helping them and making them better. The second one, anybody guess what that one would be? Trust. So pharmacy is one of the most trusted professions. And why is that? Honesty, integrity, they all kind of fit into that. Trust is going to be one of the most important things for you as a pharmacist. So keep that in mind, with your exams, each other, communicating amongst each other. One student may be good in kinetics, mathematics, that kind of stuff. Another one, better with the social skills. So make sure you use each other and work with each other. It's not about necessarily who gets the best on the test, because the person that barely passes the boards, guess what? They're still a pharmacist. So working together is going to be crucial for you guys for the next couple of years. I have no doubts, though, that the skills and knowledge that you will receive over the next few years will guide you in your future endeavors. But keep in mind that your learning will absolutely not stop at graduation, but it will continue throughout your entire professional career. Typically, that's also in the form of CEs is what we typically call it, but learning from the public and learning from each other and other individuals. So with closing remarks, just want to tell you all good luck and congratulations.
Thank you, Interim Dean Ma and Brent. Appreciate your remarks. Unfortunately, the next scheduled speaker could not be here today, our Chancellor, Don Straney. But we have the good fortune of having Matt Platts, Dr. Platts, who is Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs. And I asked him how I should introduce him, and he stated that he taught organic chemistry for 35 years, and he's been here for 3 years. But 3 years is actually the longest tenured Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs ever at UHH. Dr. Platts.
Thank you, Ed. Aloha, everyone. Excuse me, I have allergies. Does anybody know a good pharmacist? Fortunately, we have a few good ones here who can help me. But I asked Dr. Fisher to introduce me as a professor of organic chemistry because I'm sure the reason you're here today is because it was your favorite subject, correct? Great memories of organic chemistry, the Grignard reaction, all that good stuff. Before you got here, you had to get through somebody like me. And me and my cohorts of fellow organic chemists, we're not beloved by all students. Somehow, not all students think we are the easiest or fairest of all professors. But quite seriously, I've taught organic chemistry to tens of thousands of students, many of which wanted to go into the health profession, specifically pharmacy. I know how hard it is, how competitive it is. I know all the sacrifices you made as a student, how hard you worked to get here, and it is a great pleasure for me to say congratulations. You are the best of the students I used to teach, so welcome to UH Hilo. I also know from my own personal history that you didn't get here alone. I went to a four-year college and I went to graduate school because of the sacrifices made by my parents, specifically my father, who decided he had enough of working at a costume jewelry factory and was going to go to school at night so that I could have a better life. Unfortunately, by the time I became an adult, wise enough to appreciate his sacrifice, he passed away. So I never had the chance to say these words to him directly. So my advice to you is to not waste any time in thanking your parents and all your family and all your ohana for everything they've done to get you here today. Don't wait. Don't put it off. Do it today. In fact, do it right now. Stand up, turn around, and say thank you, all of you. Okay, that's enough. I also know we have a great faculty here. We have a committed faculty. We have a faculty that will not let you fail. In 4 years, I will see you all across the stage in great numbers, 95% plus. So you are in great hands. You've chosen wisely, a great profession. You're going to work very hard the next 4 years, but you're going to love every minute of it, trust me. You'll make friendships and connections that will last a lifetime. So your journey, it will be one of pleasure, hard work, and stress, but it will be worth it, and you will not fail. Aloha, good luck. We're delighted you're here.
Thank you, Matt. Our next speaker is a Native Hawaiian internal medicine physician in the University Health Partners Lauola Clinic of the Department of Native Hawaiian Health at the John A. Burns School of Medicine in Honolulu, Hawaii. The Lauola Clinic has for over 3 years been a multidisciplinary clinic encompassing primary care, behavioral health, and pharmacy. She works with our faculty member, Dr. Wes Samita, to teach fourth-year pharmacy students ambulatory medicine. She enjoys teaching clinical medicine to students and residents alike. She is an assistant professor at JAPSOM, where she is on the team that teaches the cultural competency curriculum to the medical students and the family medicine residents. She received her BA from University of Hawaii at Manoa, completed the Imi Ho'ola program, followed by an MD degree from John A. Burns School of Medicine. She completed her internal medicine residency with the University of Hawaii's Integrated Medical Residency program as one of 2 fourth-year residents in the inaugural year of the Senior Residency in Ambulatory Care program. She has finished a fellowship in faculty development through the Native Hawaiian Center of Excellence and a fellowship in medical education at the John A. Burns School of Medicine. She's a proud mother of 2 beautiful children, Marin and Pono. She was born in Hilo and raised in Nahalahu, Hawaii Island, I give you Dr. Deanne Carpenter.
Ho'o lama lama ka'akau kukui. Kunihi o kona hua nui. Ahe ku kala ahe mai nei. Ua maila o ke ki o wao. Kai ka pa'a kai o alia. Hali aloha o ka e hukai. Maha maha ke kanaka I ka mauli ola. Ho'o pili, ho'o mana, ho'o mau ka lahu ie. Aloha mai kākou, Vice Chancellor, Dean, faculty, staff, family, friends, students, residents, too many of you. You should never give someone your bio because they're going to read like every single thing that you have on that. So I have to pay attention next time. But I want to say I am deeply honored and very touched to have been asked to speak to you on this auspicious day. It's my daughter's 19th birthday. Oh, I mean, of course, your white coat ceremony of the Daniel K. Inouye College of Pharmacy of the University of Hawaii at Hilo. I started with this chant because it tells you of the place where I work, the John A. Burns School of Medicine in the Department of Native Hawaiian Health. This chant was actually gifted to our department by Kumu Mehana Hind, and it talks about the place around the medical school, if you know it, Kaka'ako. The old name for it is Ka'akau Kukui. It talks of the sorrow that used to be in that area as it was the gathering place before departure of people to go to Kalaupapa, Molokai, those who were afflicted with leprosy, now known as Hansen's disease. But it also talks about the healing that is going on, the nurturing and the growth of medical students who will become physicians, and I'm hoping that some of you will encounter them later on in your careers as pharmacists, should you choose to work here in Hawaii. And by the way, you should choose to work here in Hawaii. And though I am now living and working on Oahu, I'm especially proud of being from Moku'ake'awe, the Big Island, Hawaii Island, the land that you're standing on. I grew up in Na'alehu, South Point, the southernmost community in the United States of America. And I like to share with my medical students when they say, where are you from? I say, oh, I'm FBI, from Big Island, baby. Yeah. So you guys can use that, okay? I saw a shirt like that, oh, brother, I gotta get me one of those. But why do I say that? No matter where you go, I'm always gonna be that Big Island girl. So should you, no matter where you come from. You bring with you your values, your culture, yourself. And you share that with your fellow classmates, your future colleagues, your workplace, your school, your community. Since your school is here on the Big Island, you are now part of rural health. And there is so much to learn and so much to share. There are many cultures here, and you will learn from each one. In a rural area, it's all about relationships. So some patients will trust you because you're, wearing that white coat. And for others, you will not gain their trust until they have a relationship with you. They will expect that you will not only share your name, but who you are and where you are from. They will try to find that connection with you. And only after they feel that they know you, that they trust you enough to share their own personal information with you. Well, perhaps they'll share with you that they had to save up money so they could afford the medications that they're buying from you. Or she'll share that her husband had to take on another job so they could afford to buy her medicines, which cost $1,500 a month, just to keep her alive because she had a very rare disease and no drug coverage. So those are my stories. In a few years, you'll have your own stories. I wear this kihei as a symbol of my own Hawaiian cloak of honor. I made this. It was actually a cloak and a kihei that we give to all of our Native Hawaiian students graduating from the John A. Burns School of Medicine. But he's such a wonderful kokua. Mahalo. He didn't know he had to do this. I should have told him. I figured I better dress appropriately. So here we are at your white coat ceremony, and how prestigious, how proud you must all be. How proud your family must be of you. When I entered medical school in the 1890s, was it? Yeah. I did not have a white coat ceremony either. I had to buy my own short white coat. That was very cool anyway. But this all changed, and it changed to a long coat. I show this off because the residents, I'm like, ooh, pretty soon you're gonna get the long one. And that was an honor. So to honor you, and on this day, I don my own white coat, the coat that stands, as you already have heard. They took all my lines, by the way, but that's okay. That stands for trust, for honor, protection, clinical services, care of the patient and his or her family, and professionalism. And so adopting the white lab coat, this represents all of us as scientists. Dr. Arnold P. Gold, a teacher and pediatric neurologist, created the first full-fledged white coat ceremony at Columbia University College of Physicians and Surgeons. And before this ceremony, medical students typically receive the Hippocratic Oath for the first time at commencement, at the very end of training. Well, kind of in the middle. They have to still go to residency. But now the oath is introduced to students before starting their first year of study. I think this is a great thing. This spread to other schools, dentistry, osteopathy, and nursing worldwide. And I understand in 1995, US pharmacy schools started holding white coat ceremonies, with the difference initially that most pharmacy students receive their white coats at the end of their first academic year. But here at the Daniel K. Inouye College of Pharmacy at UH Hilo, you receive your white coat before you start school. And you folks look so bright and fresh. Hey, never mind yawning, I saw that. But you will also state your oath of a pharmacist, revised, today, when you do this, where you will devote your lifetime, yourself to a lifetime of service to others through your profession of pharmacy. Many words in the oath are the same as those you hold for the white coat that you receive today. Respect, protect, apply, professional, embrace and advocate changes for improvement, and kuleana, responsibility. Well, how are you going to do all this? You've already heard communication is the key. Communication with each other, with your fellow colleagues, your faculty, your staff, your patients, and yes, even with physicians. Yes, I dare say, talk to physicians. Of course, you know, sometimes they don't want to talk to you, but you can tell them I said you're supposed to, okay? There are many guidelines out there, many new formulations of medications. Some of you, you're only going to learn now, and later on you're going to be like, wow. I remember they talk about COX-2 inhibitors. I'm like, there was no COX-2 inhibitor back in my day. Excuse me, it was just cyclooxygenase, okay? 1. So things change, So when you get to 2, 3, whoa, I better pay attention. I love biochemistry. Kind of stems off from organic. Actually, I loved organic chemistry. Sorry, I digress, as usual. I am part Portuguese as well as Hawaiian. So with those many guidelines out there and these new formulations, you can have interactions to medications, and a simple, fast conversation with the physician can accomplish a life-saving interaction. I dare say I just did this the other day when a pharmacist called me, and we were like, let's not do this. Let me tell you the story of my patient. You can tell me maybe what medicine we should use. And then this correct choice of medicine, clarification, a more specific treatment for that patient based on the needs of the patient, that specific medical problems, etc. So in our Lauola Clinic at the Johnny Burns School of Medicine, you've heard, we take fourth-year pharmacy students to do their ambulatory pharmacy rotations. And this initially started with Dr. Candice Tan, and now with Dr. Wes Sumida, whom, by the way, speaking of relationships, I met him when I was a fourth-year resident, and he was working at Kaiser in the outpatient setting. He then worked in the inpatient setting for a number of years and is now working again with me. Good thing I was nice to him back then, okay. So you get to work with Dr. Wes Sumida, you get to work with Dr. Brady, and you get to work with me. Good fun, you know. We also have 2 psychologists and a psychiatrist that the pharmacy student can work with. And you can learn to speak there. You learn to speak to patients. Now I know you're saying, well, I didn't come here to become a doctor of medicine. Too bad. In my clinic, that's what you do. And you will love it. You will find at the end of 6 weeks. But you get to call in prescriptions, sometimes even let you write one. Let me tell you, I see the face on the students, they're like, oh, I get to write a script. Like, yeah. Make sure it's legible, because the pharmacist is not going to be happy, okay? But we discuss interactions and we give patient education. And you learn that communication is key. So I have to tell you, the last 2 students that I just had a few weeks ago, they worked in our clinic. And after a couple of weeks, I asked them, so what have you learned thus far? And they said, you know, it's the relationship with the patient that's key to the care of that patient. And I just went, wow, Wes, we're done. I did it. We did our job. It was great. No, just kidding. We kept them for another 4 weeks and taught them more stuff. But so I think about this in our clinic. There's an olelo no ea. This is an old Hawaiian saying. Aohe pau ka'ike I kahalau ho'okahi. One does not learn all from one school. We take that to heart in Lauola Clinic, where we are a multi-specialty clinic. Pharmacy students work together with primary care, with psychologists, with psychiatry. And we not only have pharmacy students and medical students, but I also have 2 internal medicine residents who work with me. And so they are with me for 3 years. And we all, everyone can learn together how to work together during your training. And in Hawaiian, what do we call this? Laulima. Lima, hands, together. And we do this to help care for their patients and their families. So today I spoke to you about many things, and you heard wonderful things from the other speakers. There are just 3 main things I'd like you to remember. 1, know who you are and where you're from. Wear your own kihei when you see someone else. Only when you know yourself can you have that trust, and it's that trust that is the nidus to the relationship that you will have between you and your patient and his or her family. And that allows you to be part of patient care. Number 2, communication is the key in life. And by the way, this is not just for pharmacy school. Relationships, the other kind, at home, works. Okay, say no more. Learn how to speak to each other. And by the way, I know you all know how to text and do all that. Learn how to speak to each other, to your colleagues, to your physicians, to your staff, to your patients, and to their families. Laulima, work well together with others. Keep practicing your skill, hone your knowledge, and share your expertise. Be what we call a lifelong learner. Continue to teach others and improve all that you do to advance patient care and patient outcomes, as it states in your oath of a pharmacist. In the medical school, when I go to our white coat ceremony that we now have, all of the doctors wear our white coats, and we all stand and we pledge our Hippocratic oath with the students on the date of the white coat ceremony. And if you folks don't do that now, I suggest you do with your pharmacy faculty and staff. I'd like to share with you a phrase that has stuck with me from 15 years ago when I learned it from a wonderful colleague of mine, Dr. Norberto Baisa. He came back from a conference and he says, I heard this, and he said this, and I try to live by this every day. I can't say I do, but I really try. Aspire to inspire before you expire. You never know. Okay, slowly. Aspire to inspire before you expire. I especially think of this when I work with students and residents, and I would love to work with all of you. So wear your white coat, as I will, with pride, and welcome to the field of medicine.
Thank you, Dr. Carpenter. Our preceptors are integral to the college's success. Each year, our students have the opportunity to vote for an IPPE Preceptor of the Year. This year, 2015 IPP Preceptor of the Year is Dr. Randall Nakamura, who is a clinical pharmacy specialist at the Kukini Medical Center on Oahu. He earned his Bachelor of Science degree in Medical Technology from the University of Hawaii at Manoa and his Doctorate of Pharmacy from the University of Southern California. At Kukokini, he participates in daily multidisciplinary rounds in critical care and plans to become board certified in critical care pharmacy. He is also a key member of teams that implement and support CPOE, bedside barcode medication scanning, and Pyxis MedStation and Cerner integration. Unfortunately, he could not be here today, but he wanted me to relay the following message from him. I want to congratulate all of you on achieving your goal of entering pharmacy school. As each of you receives your white coat today, your career in pharmacy begins. The white coat ceremony, first held in 1993 at Columbia University College of Physicians and Surgeons in New York, is a rite of passage, welcoming you as a new pharmacy student into the medical profession. The white coat ceremony was introduced by Dr. Arnold Gold, who believed that medical students should be given guidelines defining expectations and the responsibilities of their medical profession at the beginning of their education rather than at the end. The white coat you receive today is a symbol of trust. Pharmacy is one of the most trusted professions. As you put on your white coat, set your goal to be the best pharmacist you can be. Show compassion and caring to those who put their trust in you, that you will provide them with the best care possible. Don't be afraid to put the patient first, but maintain your ethical principles and professional standards. I never saw myself teaching students, but being a preceptor these past years has presented me with invaluable lessons. From these students, I have learned the value of patience. I was once a pharmacy student going through the same situations that all of you will be facing as you progress in your pharmacy career. Because science and the nature of medicine are ever changing, it naturally affects all aspects, scope of the profession. With that being said, always be open to that teachable or learning moment. Wear your white coat proudly, but be humble. Never forget where you came from and who helped you get you there. Be a life student. Lastly, I leave you with this one quote by Henry David Thoreau. If one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. Again, congratulations. Be proud of this moment. This achievement is all due to hard work and dedication you have put into your studies. I wish you all the best as you begin this new journey. When things get tough, remember why you picked pharmacy as your career choice. Always remember that in the grand scheme of things, you are part of a team in life as well as your career. There's someone communicating even now. This is a message from U.S. Senator Brian Schatz to Doctor of Pharmacy class of 2019 and residents, Daniel K. Inouye College of Pharmacy, University of Hawaii at Hilo, October 18, 2015. I extend my warmest greetings of aloha to all those gathered to celebrate the white coat ceremony for the University of Hawaii at Hilo, Daniel K. Inouye College of Pharmacy, class of 2019 and residents. I join your families and mentors in congratulating congratulating you on your entry into the pharmacy profession. The white coat ceremony marks the beginning of your journey to join the medical, healthcare, and pharmaceutical profession. The tools and knowledge you will gain in your time at DKICP will enable you to help serve the needs of the people of Hawaii and the communities around the world. I am proud that you have all chosen to undertake this journey here in Hawaii. Mahalo to everyone gathered today to celebrate this milestone achievement. I know that these young men and women will continue to work hard and make you proud. Congratulations to the incoming class of 2019 and best wishes to you on your future success. Brian Schatz, United States Senator. Now to introduce and hood our pharmacy residents, I would ask the two faculty members, Dr. Sherry Tokomoro and Dr. Roy Gu, both of which are associate professors in the Department of Pharmacy Practice, to come to the stage.
Welcome to all students, families, and supporters of the College of Pharmacy. This is our third year of formally coding our pharmacy residents. The success of a College of Pharmacy can be measured in many ways. It is often said that a college has reached its pinnacle when a residency program has been established. Our efforts started back in 2010 with Dr. Anita Ciarleglio. She created and accredited our first pharmacy residency in community pharmacy practice on the island of Maui. The efforts have continued to grow from there. So we now have 2 positions in a pharmacy practice residency. This is also known as a postgraduate year 1 residency or a PGY1. And we also have an advanced pharmacy practice residency, and this is in the area of critical care. The advanced area of pharmacy is known as a PGY2 residency or a postgraduate year 2 program. With each year, we've had sufficient applicants. We receive applications from students, PGY1 residents, that represent the best and the brightest in their respective areas. Our PGY1 and PGY2 residency program have also recently undergone a residency accreditation survey. The American Society of Health System Pharmacies and Pharmacists, that too accredits these residency programs. They just visited our 2 programs, and we are happy to say that both programs received full accreditation, and we're very proud of that. And then one last success that I would like to share is the successes that our resident graduates have achieved. All of our graduating residents are now practicing in dynamic and different areas of pharmacy practice, and some have even joined us as faculty at the Daniel K. Inouye College of Pharmacy. For the students sitting here today, a residence year, it's a hard year, a lot of work, but very rewarding. A lot of learning goes on in different areas, so you'll be able to have a lot more experience in the areas of patient care, teaching, research, and project management. And as examples for your first year pharmacy students, you may aspire to be a pharmacy resident in 4 years from now. So although this year of extra training, or possibly 2 years, is optional, there are a lot of good opportunities and areas where you can get further experience. So I hope that you will consider this endeavor. This year, we again performed the coding of the long coat to our pharmacy residents. The long coat indicates the rite of passage to the level of clinical practitioner. May I ask that our pharmacy residents come to the stage as they are called. The Daniel K. Inouye College of Pharmacy partners with the Hawaii Pacific Health to run 2 PGY1 residents, and they practice at 3 different sites, Wilcox Memorial Hospital in Kauai, Straub, and Palimomi Medical Center on Oahu. Our first PGY1 resident is Dr. Jasmine Kimura. Dr. Kimura received her Doctor of Pharmacy degree from Creighton University in Omaha, Nebraska, this past June. Our second PGY1 resident is Dr. Lori Uehara. Dr. Uehara also received her Doctor of Pharmacy degree from Creighton University. The faculty director for this PGY1 residency is Dr. Roy Gu. He is an associate professor in the Department of Pharmacy Practice, and he is a faculty in residence at the Wilcox Memorial Hospital. Dr. Lauren Peck is our PGY2 resident in critical care at the Queens Medical Center in Honolulu. Dr. Peck received her Doctor of Pharmacy degree from the Ohio State University College of Pharmacy and completed her PGY1 at Riverside Methodist Hospital in Columbus, Ohio. I serve as the program director for the PGY2 program in critical care, and my practice site is at the Queens Medical Center in the Neuroscience ICU. Please join me in congratulating this year's residency class.
Okay, now we're going to proceed, if this microphone would cooperate, with the recital of the Oath of the Pharmacist, the highlight of this afternoon. I'd like to ask the following faculty members to come up and assist: Drs. Batts, Supakit, Gomez, and Ms. Juzak. And I'd like to ask all the speakers, the VIPs, that come to the stage and form a receiving line for our students.
Logan Coster. Preston Young. Jae Sun Shim. Veronica Morales Colon. Akash Parikh. Clement Tran Tang. San Lee. Faith Hicks. Dennis Buchachi. Desiree Shows. Kaylee Huang. Geraldine Gamayo. Sean Janeway. Gina Yoon. Natalie Chan. Jennifer Wynn. Michael Reza. Les Domingo. Veronica Wong. Cami Kanahele. Dennis Lay. Kayla Uehara. Shannon Trin. Angela Fusco. Michael Land. Nicholas Soy. David Pham. Carla Felix. Michael Kuznetsov. Renee Scott Chavez. Kathleen Gu. Marlisa Corpuz. Adam Schrantz. Athena Borhauer. Samantha Gonzalez. Clarissa Bouted. Davis Zheng. Danielle Ayo. Sabine Kalarek. Sydney Barney. Kevin Fu. Ashley Uehara. Carrie Young. Teresa Wynn. Thomas Ha. Cameron Saba. Jessica Regpala. Jesse Lamb. Kelly Kofalt. Kelsey Netzelman. Kristen Yasai. Lindsay Reinholz. Tyler Hirakawa. Ashlyn Kinilau. Nancy Wong. Gam Fan. Alexander Hilo. Rachel Randall. Chriselle Kamake'eaina Mendoza. Kate Molasig. Torrance Ching. Kevin Lay. Stacy Huynh. Stacy Liu. Preston Ho. Tin Lee. Amber Masulit. Stephanie Ramirez. Vance Hill. Lee Hefner. Mandy Louie. Kara Polachek. John Rowe. Katrina Downey. Gurinder Kaur. Sue Lau. Tyler Millar. Joshua Frazier. Ashley Gordon. Trish Huynh. Lauren Glover Alejado. Jennifer Wynn.
I would like to thank the Performing Arts Center for helping us coordinate the background logistics for the event, to Mr. Anthony Liu and Robert Shi in his office for coordinating the live stream for those who could not attend today's ceremony, Pacific Floral Exchange for their donation of the tropical flowers, and the pre-pharmacy students for decorating the theater. And most especially, I would like to thank our student services staff, Director Daryl Masanda, Chris Savuji, and Tracy Naimi for their hard work on the 2019 White Coat ceremony. But most especially, Christy Fujii, and a huge mahalo to Walgreens for making today's ceremony possible. I would like to ask the students and the VIPs, please stay on stage. Will the audience please feel free to enjoy the refreshments that should be outside, cake and punch, of course. Thank you for a great afternoon. Thank you for attending. Good evening.